Crafters, how you going? Steve here with another video, and today I want to show you my new improved tree farm, as well as give you guys a tutorial for it. This is my old one. It's huge, like the redstone is everywhere, and this is a lot neater. I haven't got a place for the logs to come down, but I've left that gap there in case you guys want to bring it down there. The place where you have it come out is completely optional, as it is up there, but yeah, this one's a lot quicker too, as you will see here. So there's our tree, probably already halfway up there by now, not quite, but as you can see it's moving up there a lot faster, thanks to a few tweaks of the redstone, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So basically this is what the whole system looks like as a complete unit. It's fairly compact, and I've color-coded all the redstone just so it's nice and easy to follow along. And for the sake of this tutorial, I've separated them into their separate components, and we'll go into how to build them individually and talk about how they fit into the rest of the system. And this is just so that you guys get an understanding of how it works as well as how to build it. Now keep in mind this one here, that yellow bit there is important, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, this is my my current system, and so on this side here you have your circuit. So like for example this one here, it's blue. On this side it's just blue. This side here is orange, and it's orange and blue. So because we've already built blue, we see orange and how it fits onto it. And we've got yellow, and then there's yellow and blue and orange, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to explain how to build them step by step for you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Now keep in mind as well, this top section here is this is the top section from the previous model over there, and I've changed it a little bit here. We can change it here, like for example on this side it's pushing that way, so the top part is customizable depending on your system. So the top part I'll explain a little bit, but I won't go into too many specifics with how to do this part, because that part's up to you. Wherever you want the logs to go is up to you. You could have it go wherever you want really. You can just build a whole bunch of smart pistons and yeah, move on like that. So anyway, let's get into the tutorial. Alrighty, so the materials you will need are in my taskbar at the moment. Let's build out from here. So we'll build it next to it so you guys can compare the two and see how it looks as I go. Now one thing I forgot to grab is a half slab for here. There's an important reason for this, which I won't go into too much, but basically it has to do with some budding with some of the other circuits, if left without. And also we need another half slab here, which allows the redstone underneath to activate. So right now we're just building a basic bud switch. So this is my my 21 or 24 block bud switch, which I built a while back. So we put, this is the top part, which is actually yellow. For the sake of this tutorial we'll leave it as yellow, just so we don't get confused later on. Now we put a normal piston down there, a sticky piston up the top, a 2 blocks here, and yeah, here, and then one of those. Now when we put this piece of redstone here, oh wait, done. So that's that part. Now to get our output from here we need to do this. So we can put a piston on here and a piece of redstone on there. Now these other parts are optional. These I put them in there for aesthetics for mine, because I like to be able to see that the bud has been activated, you know what I mean? So you put a torch there, a repeater there, and a repeater there, and repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So another one there, and then a torch on there, repeater, no, other way, horrible, and a repeater on there. So these go into the lamps which sit above. You can put them in it if you want. Like I said, it's optional, but yeah, so let's put them in just so you can see it in action. So these are on now, so let's activate the bud. As you see the lamps flicker, and that's it. So this part here with the sticky piston It's just so that if we do get bud updates, that nothing happens. It's just a failsafe for the other part. So that when this block is put back into place, because if you were to move this yellow block, it's not just a failsafe, sorry. If you were to move this, the bud is inoperative. We can't activate the bud. But the minute you push it back, it sends a redstone update. So moving the block, which stops the redstone updates back, causes a redstone update. So in order to get out of that, there's the circuit, the yellow circuit, which pulls that down, and then when this goes through, it doesn't send out a signal to throw everything off. That's kind of how I got around a few things. Now this is the orange circuit, and this is what grabs the output from here. So this part right here, I believe. Oh, yeah, it is. Grabs the output from right here. So you can see right there. This goes into there, and then out through there, comes back around, and then both that way and that way. It's funny how looking at things separately, as separate entities, it's hard to tell what they are. Anyway, so let's build this one. So you put a piece of redstone on there. This part here is part of the sticky piston. Put a repeater on there. Block. Why did I break that? On there. No, this goes out to the side here like that. A piece of redstone on there. A repeater on there, and a block here. Now this part here will both go backwards on itself and also go to the red circuit, which we'll see in a minute. So the red circuit, which is down there, which we spoke of a minute ago. So one input goes that way and the other one goes that way. So yeah, we put a piston, a repeater on there, and another repeater on here. Put a piece of redstone in here. A sticky piston right there. And I think I've done them the same. Oh, I added that part too. Yeah. It's always good when you can build something from memory. Now, for the yellow circuit, we have a few extra little tips and tricks. We're not using the half slabs, yes we are. But I will grab that, because I'm not using any torches. Now, we have to be wary. These parts here, this is the reason these are like this, is because the bud switch fits in the middle here, as you can see here. So in order to avoid it, we've got redstone here, which goes into that repeater, which goes into redstone. So the redstone doesn't activate redstone through a block, and there's no repeater here, as you can see. It's why it's on 2 ticks rather than two repeaters on 1 tick. And that's another reason why I made it a larger one rather than the 15 block 1 wide bud switch. So yeah, these are here to stop the redstone going up to the part here where there's a piece of redstone. So anyway, let's get into building it. So in order to build this one, let's once again come out here. We're running out of room, but it's okay. The green circuit is the most complicated, but this one's probably the second most complicated. This part here goes into that there. It's that, and then the green one will connect onto the back of here. Now, the reason I'm going into this unnecessary detail with explanation is just so that you guys, I think I said it before, not just see how to build something, but learn how it works. So I apologize if you don't really care, but for the sake of those who do, I'm going to go into this unnecessary detail. And yeah, now this part here, oh, I did put a block there. It's usually the other color. What color do I have on top? No, I've got the same one there. It's usually green on top, as you can see there, because that goes into the green system. But for the sake of this, I probably should have just made it green like I did with the blue system. For the sake of this one, I'll just make it yellow, because the colors don't matter. Like, if we make it pink, it won't change the circuit. It's just so that things are, I guess, consistent, that I'm doing this. Now, these two here come from 2 parts of the circuit. This part here connects to this here, I believe. Yeah. Because that part there goes like this. So those 2 blocks there go here. We've got a piston repeater there. and a piece of redstone in there. So that will activate that, and this will go here. So they're pretty much, the two of them are connected, but it's hard to see as it is. So we have the two of them there, then that, and then we have our up sequence. Now this part here had to be a bit wonky to avoid the my aesthetic part here. I don't know if you can see it. You know what I'm talking about, the one that does the lamp. So I had to make it go out to the side just so that, and make it wonky a little bit just so that it wouldn't activate the other. And then we have two like that, a block here, and then a sticky piston facing towards me. That on there, a repeater on there, and fill all these in with redstone. So in terms of the other part, you just connect it from here. So like, put a block there, and here, put our drop through the middle, like that. Put a sticky, no, why do I keep saying piston and sticky piston? Put a repeater there, with a piece of redstone on there. Now this is the part we need to be wary of the bud switch. So we put a piece of redstone there, a block there, so another block there, repeater there, redstone there, and this is, see what we've done there, we've avoided the other part. Now to get through this top part, we just basically put a repeater through there and build a kind of an arbitrary looking tunnel, or not pipe, or whatever you want to call it, to avoid a few of the other things, as well as get it up higher and get it over here. Now how many blocks did it go over here? I don't remember this part, so it's 4 and then down. Okay, cool. It's hard to remember when the shape isn't like a uniform structure. And then a half slab, and then the block. So we put a... Oh, that's what I've done. So what happens when you make it arbitrary. Put a piston on, repeater on there, some redstone along the back, and we've done the yellow circuit. Oh wait, no, one more thing. We have this. So, yep, that's it. That's our yellow circuit, and it's looking pretty good. No, we've missed one thing. Now we're good. That's what happens, yeah, like I said, when it's a complicated little structure. Now the next one is our red one. This one connects onto the orange system, as we said at the bottom there, and that connects here. So this part here is what activates the red circuit. Now lucky for us, it's only a relatively small little construction. It's about 4 wide, so I can fit these together fairly nicely. Stop it. So we have a repeater on there for sticky piston facing up, and we put sand on that sticky piston. Reason being, I had it derp out a few times, so I put sand on there, because sand doesn't derp out. Then we have our sticky, I'll put some redstone on there first so I can put it against it. Sticky piston on there, with a redstone block on the side. So it sits on there, redstone on the back there. Now this part here connects to another little system over here. So we put a comparator. I have one of them out. Actually, no, we need a comparator in a minute. So we put a piece of redstone on there, and then that goes up. And then we have 2 comparators. One is normal, and one is a negative signal, negative sign I should say. That goes into a block. Why did I break that? Then to another block, and there. Break that. Put a repeater on there. Those go on there, and we go up for this part. Now this here, we need to go over our redstone, so over here to activate our first dispenser. So that goes there. So we put a repeater on here with some redstone on there. We build a bunch of blocks over here. Now we need to leave these gaps here, because this part here is to stop it from, which circuit does it interrupt? I think it's the yellow one. No, it's because we want a solid, a an all direction piece of redstone here, because if we had it as a line it wouldn't go into that block, so we need to go into that block, so we need to do it like that. That one so it goes over the yellow circuit right here. So we have this block here, another block there, and there. So we put also some repeaters on the top here just so we don't bud the piston below, so this doesn't become a clock and just keep yeah, doing its own thing. So we put a piece of the redstone on there, a thing on there. Now the sand tower will be here. The sand tower is here, so we need to remember that. There's a gap here, but that's where the sand tower is. Have a couple of blocks there, and then our dispenser. So put a piece of, that on there, and that on there. There we go. And that's it. That's our red circuit. So you can see it in action over here, where this part here goes into the sand and then comes out the side. So here is the part where we've got that gap and that goes underneath. So yep. Now we've done all the circuits except for now the final one. This one is actually not as hard to build as I kind of let it on to be. It's actually not too bad at all. Just gotta follow along with what's happening and you should be fine. But basically what's happening, I think I explained it in my original video, but we've got a clock which activates a binary counter. The binary counter controls the clock and how far the pistons go. So we'll put our sticky piston, which I don't have out, on top of here. So we put our sticky piston with a redstone block on it, on there. Now with that, before we break that, let's move this over here. So we put a piece of redstone on there. Now this will go into our clock. There'll be a torch on here, so that when this is activated it will disable that torch. This torch has a repeater going into it. This one I can actually build mostly from memory, I believe. Mostly from. I need to remember how it fits into the rest of the circuit, but otherwise I should be able to build it from memory. Both of these on one tick, so it's going to be a 3-tick clock, which is extremely quick, considering we're doing a whole bunch of piston movements. So it's going to be really tight. So we have this go out here with another piece of redstone, just so that these two don't activate each other. A piston on here, which is our initial piston. I'm going to put some blocks above here, but we'll worry about that in a minute. A repeater on there. I said it right this time. So I'll place a whole bunch of blocks on here. Some of them will be pistons. So we put another piston on here, another piston on here, here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a solid block. And we build something like this. Now leave that block there because it will be part of the system. The pistons start up because the counter needs to be up when it starts. Otherwise it will send through a signal and change it all over before I even use it. So all the pistons start up before you even use it, I should say, because I've already used it. Put these on there. So those continue the 1-tick pulse that will come through. Oh, this one here needs to be a half slab with a block underneath, which will leak out in a couple of directions. One direction is this way, which will come out to here and activate around the piston. So this will go into a block, some around here. Put a repeater on there before I forget. So 2 pieces of redstone. Now I think I had 2 4-tick delays on here, and I had one repeater on there, some out there, so it was 3 I believe, and then 1 more out there. I should be able to build this completely from memory. Wow. Because I did that much tinkering of it, I think. So these here, there's 2 sticky pistons, 1 there and 1 there. This one on this side starts up, and this one starts down. Yeah, that's right. Piece of redstone on there. 3 repeaters out like that. Now we also have a repeater on there and a repeater on there. With repeaters on there and there as well. So that's that part. Now on this part here, actually not quite. So So that goes out one more, which will go upwards in a second, whereas this one goes straight with another repeater. The extra repeater is necessary because just a few timings that makes it necessary, I guess. I think there's 3 there. No, I had a couple of repeaters. Oh, okay, that's what I did. I changed it. I do remember doing that. This is how I originally had it. So these go and they stay there. There we go. So we have 2 repeaters, both on 4 ticks, I believe. 2 pieces of redstone, 1 there on 1 tick. With a... I can't get out of here. That on there. I think I messed up my thing. What was this one before? Wait, so this is my clock. So this one would have been a repeater. So it would have been facing that way on 1 tick. Yep, that's right. Okay, cool. So we have this part here, piece of redstone on there, and some redstone along the top here to a repeater and a piston. Then we have some redstone at the back here with a repeater on there. As you can see, it will go into there, and I'll worry about the rest of this in a minute. So we now have most of it. We can now come out here, and I think I did it this way, didn't I? Yeah. From our clock. Now we need a 1 tick pulse from this clock, but we currently don't have one, so we need to make one. So we go like that, put a repeater on there, and some redstone on top of that. So these will go into the repeaters that we currently have in front of them. So they'll go in there and there. It's getting dark. This is probably the most complicated part of the whole circuit. Now this part here goes up, but it's a half slab, not actually a full block. So we'll bring it out from there. And then this one here is a full block, going out for 2. Yep, and then that on there. Now we need a non-sticky piston to stick on there, and we need to put a whole bunch of blocks on here, and put a block there, sticky piston on here, facing up. This is so repetitive. Put a block on there. Now this one here will go up through the system. No, it won't. This is going up through there, so that's not there. Yeah, no, yeah, that's fine, because that goes into that piston. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, bit lost there. Then we come up, then up again. Got a repeater on there, some redstone on there, and that part's done. So we got our sand counter, which we haven't put our other piston down for, but he sits here, and that's that sorted. So that's our counter done. Now in terms of the redstone here, we need to put a piece of redstone on there, and come out here, 2 repeaters on 1 tick, block there, come back. I think I did it this way. I'll look in a second. Come out there. Is that what I did? Yeah. And then 1 out to the side. What do you know? How's that for memory? And so we go out to the side 1. Now, assuming I've done all this correctly, let's make sure I've done this bottom part. So 1 and 4 and then 4. Okay, that's how I did that. And then 1. I'm just trying to keep it consistent. So 1, 4 and 4. So it means I had that over 1 more. So it doesn't really matter if I had 4, 1 and 4. That's the exact same thing, except it's arranged slightly different. That bottom part there, as long as it does roughly the same thing as both of those, it should be fine. We need a piece of redstone on there as well. And this will go up to the yellow circuit top part. I think we've done everything now. I think so. Let's give that a test. We can actually test it. So let's put some sand down. I think I've done everything right. Oh wait, one more thing I need to add, but this doesn't change the way the circuit works. So this goes in on one tick actually. It's one tick. Yes, because that's a sand piston which we have already got there. So it won't affect the system. That's why I've got a sand piston there, a sand sticky piston. And that just means it will send through a one tick pulse even if you've got a one tick pulse before it. So the sand won't stay up above it. It will, yeah, you get the idea. So let's put a couple more sand on there. And this should now work. So if we move this here to there, we've done something wrong. Oh, we haven't got the we haven't put anything on here. That would help quite a bit actually. So we put that on there and that down there again. Yep, okay, let's try that one more time. Except we will put these back first. Alright, that should work. Let's make sure I've done everything else. So when it goes up there, it'll go up here and yep. Now I've got 3 pistons there, see 3 repeaters there. Okay, cool, let's give that a test. It always pays to test. There we go, it works. So there we go, we've done it. Good job, guys. Now we'll swap. Awesome. So basically, yeah, these parts are go and they fit inside of each other, and that's done. Alright, so the last part is fairly simple. We basically just need to create a few smart pistons. I'll leave this part here's arrangement to you guys to decide for yourselves. I'll go over how it works real quick, but I want to mostly focus on the smart pistons because that'll take the logs to where you want them to go. So basically all I've got here is a basic, really basic bud switch. So like if we were to update this bud switch, you can see that gets powered, and that's because this here is already powered. This power up here doesn't quite make it to the piston, but it's close enough for it to receive a bud update. So that sits there until we press that. It turns off the power and then repowers it. So the update of that is what does that. Now this one might be slightly noisy, but it's basically the same thing in reverse. And that pushes down the whole section. And we've got those on the end just so they don't get pushed any further. That is reason being, when these get pushed down, it will actually activate this bud here sometimes, and that will make these ones push these things through the wall. It doesn't always happen, but it has happened a couple of times, and it's just a bug. So you don't necessarily have to do it, but I did it there for safety. Just keep that in mind. Now, getting onto this part, I don't need to have a look at this to know how to build this, because it is so simple. Basically, all you're doing is, let's get a few blocks out here. Imagine right here is your opening, this block here. So like, let's actually place a few blocks down. We've got, this is our opening where the blocks come up through. Now what you want to do is place a repeater sticking straight into the block as it comes up through the hole. So like if we had, these are my logs, they'd come up through there. It would power the other side there as soon as it got through. So we want to place a block here, a sticky piston, and a piece of glass. Now the glass is essential. Reason being, as you can see, that works. However, that doesn't work. As you can see, it gets stuck because it's still powering the redstone and so therefore still extended. So put a piece of glass in there to fix that. Now the next part, we want to get a sticky and non-sticky piston. Get some redstone out like so. A block on there. Actually, why did I break that? I do that a lot. I have no torches out, but we need to put one on here and here. Put a repeater on here and a repeater there on 2 or 3 ticks. It doesn't really matter as long as it happens. Repeater here on 1 tick. Piece of redstone on there. Non-sticky piston there. and we're pretty much done. We just need to add now the circuit. So we put our torches here, so we need to put a piece of redstone into it, and we need to go up here, put our lever on there or whatever we're doing to power it, and that on there. So when these come up, we'll put this on the wrong level. That's a derpy thing to do. Alright, so that'll push them as they come through. Piece of redstone on there, that on there, and you watch, it will work perfectly. Done. And that's it, that's the top part all done. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been informative and that you go on to make some pretty cool tree farms in the future. My name is Stevo, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.
Got a little Swedish there.
Yeah.